CSV files, they are all over the place. Migration Flow for SharePoint can read CSV files as if they were database tables. Each column within the file has a data type, and that is automatically detected, and you can also override it to a specific type. This enables you to specify filters on the file very, very efficiently. Also, you have the option to use an SQL SELECT statement to retrieve only the rows you want. The result set that you retrieve can either be sent to SharePoint, an ODBC data source, SQL Server, another CSV file, or somewhere in Excel, in a table for instance. Also, for each row in the CSV file, you can do actions, and the column value for that row becomes variables. Let's have a look. Okay, let's start by defining a data ETL, extract, transform, and load. Read my CSV. Okay, and let's select CSV as the input. And this is where I got my files. Let's take the sales one here. It's got approximately 10,000 rows in it. Now the file is being analyzed and the column names and data types being displayed right here. You can see when I hover over each column, you can see the different data types. I can set a specific data type if I like. So I could say that this postal code should be treated as a text. But you can see all the different data types have been automatically detected, even the order date. All right. Now, next I want to just extract whatever is in there and see how it looks. So I'll just click on the data grid here. And a separate process is being spinned, and this is the contents. Now, by default, I only see the first 1,000. Let's go ahead and see all of it. Notice the speed, 10,000 rows in a few seconds. So this is the contents of the file. Let's say we want to specify a criteria on this. So let's go ahead and set a data extraction filter. And now I want to look at the city column and want to use Los Angeles and I want to find Los Angeles. I got it right here. Put in Los Angeles. Here we go. Run. And let's have a look at what's in there. Okay, so now we got 748 items. Okay, let's go ahead and specify some dates in the criteria, because that's really difficult in the CSV file, right? So I'll use the order date. The order date, it's going to be greater than or equal to September 2016, and I want the order date to be before a different date. That should be sometime in 2017. Say less than or equal to this, like that. All right, let's have a look at what have we got in the file. Okay, so now we got 93 items. I could also use variables to specify the criteria. So I could actually remote control which rows from the CSV file that I was retrieving. Now, where would we like to put that content? We would like to put it into another CSV file, right? Let's do that real quick just to show you how easy that is. I'm going to hit and run it. And for this case, I will preview it so I can view exactly what's going on. So this is my contents from my 10,000 row file. I'll say run, and the file has been generated. So on my desktop now, I have a file called myfile1. Let's go ahead and have a look. And it's coming up over here. So this is my file. It's 93 rows, all Los Angeles, and all within the specified date range. Now, I could also say, I want to use it for something different. I want to put it into a sheet or into a table in a sheet, or I would like to put it to a SharePoint list or database table. Let's put it into SharePoint. And I got a connection to SharePoint right here. And we don't have a list as of now, so we're just going to create one. Just going to create my list, my new list. Okay. And it's creating the list within SharePoint and retrieving the different information, as I said to say about it. Now it does all the mapping between the two. So I can actually just say, go ahead and run and create these items. But notice, I can update items. I can do all these different CRUD statements here. I can delete everything else within the list and then create new items. And I can also create items that are not already there. Let's go ahead and just run that. Just go ahead and run it silently, so we don't have to wait for that. So it's figured out it's going to create 93 rows. It's already been created. So let's go to SharePoint and have a look. I'll just click on that. It's coming up on my other screen over here. So here I have my 93 rows, right? All Los Angeles and all within the specified order range. So that was really easy. Let's go ahead and, instead of putting them into SharePoint, let's put them into a database table. So I'm going to go ahead and say database table. I'm going to select the database, and I have a SQL Server referenced here. I'm going to say that one. I don't have any table in there, so just go ahead and create a table. Let's call that demo. Demo, like that. It's going to create the table based on whatever it knows about the data types. All right. And that's it. Let's go ahead and say run. Just run it silently. And 93 rows completed successfully. So now we have a database table holding 93 rows. Don't you agree? This is cool. Let's ramp it up a little bit and go back to the Home tab and make the filter dynamic. So instead of using hard-coded values, I'm going to use a variable. So instead of Los Angeles here, I'm going to use a variable. So let's go ahead and create a variable and call that demo criteria. Criteria, and let's give it a value of Kelly. And it's going to put Kelly in there and Kelly in there. Demo criteria. Okay. And let's go ahead and use that. So in the filter, we just go ahead and delete those here and create a new one. And we're going to say customer name should contain whatever's in the variable that we have. Demo criteria, like this. And let's go ahead and see what's in there. Okay, so we got 58 rows having Kelly in the customer name column. Now the criteria for retrieving information from the CSV file is dynamic. That means it can be called from a for each loop, and so on. Now let's give it one more step up and convert this into SQL. So we're going to check this box here and notice that everything is now converted into SQL. And notice that it's going to use the lowercase and then the like operator here, so that we will get anything that contains whatever's in that variable. So now we're going to remove one of these percentage signs here, so that the criteria will be different. So that if we go to the data tab, we right now have 57. Let's go ahead and retrieve one more time. So now we got 14, right? So I can convert my request or the way of reading data from the CSV file into an SQL statement. I can even join multiple files together. All right, let's go ahead and take this statement here, copy that. Now just copy that and copy that. And let's go ahead and do some for each looping, right? So I'm going to go to the repository and create a for each loop. For each row, do this and that, right? Okay, and we are going to say CSV as the input, and we're going to select the sales file one more time, like that. And I could deselect the different columns here if I like and do criteria. Let's just jump right into putting this SQL statement in there. So now we got the input, and we are ready to do a for each now. So for each row within this data set, we can do this and that. And let's go ahead and run this and just run it silently. Okay, it's completed. And as you can see, each of those rows have now been processed. And for each row, the different columns within the file have been initialized. So we can use the column quantity all over the place and region and so on for each row. So now I can do other operations. I could use this for each to do extraction from SharePoint, updates to different sections in SharePoint, to do different file transfers and use the variable names as part of the URL on UNC, and so on and so forth. All right, I think this concludes my quick demo of how to handle CSV files for today. Thank you.